So do you like honey?
Yes.
Okay, what's the best thing about honey?
It's warm, sticky, and it tastes delicious.
This is definitely the first time that I've ever been in public in my beekeeping kit, but I'm at the Buchan School here on the Isle of Man, and I'm pretty intrigued to meet a very special group of beekeepers. I think you'll find this really interesting.
Yeah, can I do the hand check?
Slowly, yeah? So we've had the beekeeping club for, this is our 4th year now at Buchan. Started off after I got into it from an advert in the paper that Scylla had put in.
Scylla Platt,
yeah, running the beginners course. I did that one summer, then bought a colony myself the next year, then asked if I could bring them here, and was told yes with the right risk assessments and things. So did all of that and then moved a colony in 4 years ago. I run it as a summer club based around colony inspections. If there's bad weather, we do other things. We build frames. We've done some honey sampling. One thing that I've got in the pipeline is I've got a set of microscopes and I want to look at wings under a microscope. I think that would be fascinating.
So your bees are just here, and your classroom is literally right there. It's a stone's throw away.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really nice for myself and for the children. Is they come in the morning, they'll look out the window and look at the colonies and see what's going on. The entrances don't face the classroom, but they can still see how many bees are flying and how many supers are on and that sort of thing.
What's your favorite thing about beekeeping?
Probably getting to see all the like brooding all the bees, and sometimes we even see larvae bees just hatched, and in the autumn term we get to do honey extraction.
Right, now straight up in the air we're going to look at this side. So we've got bees clustering here on the side. We've got lots of brood caps on here. Beekeeping just leads itself to so many different avenues. They want to know what they eat, they want to know where they collect things from, they want to know how do I keep them in the box. My answer usually is the fence. Some believe that, and then they want to know why there's another box there, and then they want to know why is the queen in charge, but how come the queen can be kicked out by other people, and there's social dynamics, there's all sorts in it which I didn't think I'd be teaching. I thought I'd be teaching beekeeping. See you there on the end.
She's gone back down.
I just saw Beatrice.
We need to remark her.
I do, but I'm not going to do that.
What do you call your queen bee?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Beatrice.
Look at how easy it would be to destroy the colony. So I put the queen excluder back on now, accidentally crush a bee, and which bee do we accidentally crush but this bee? That's a big problem. We've got 6 this year as kind of full-time members, if you like, and then I do inspections at lunchtime for people that have never seen bees in a colony before, people that want to know a bit more. The best thing I've had yet is a child that was petrified of bees. I coaxed them into coming along and having a look at the colony, and they left saying, "Oh, I'm now much happier. I'm okay around bees." So those ones are male bees, because they're bigger than the females. All of these bees here are females. If you see a big one, that's going to be a male.
So Beekeeping Club is in progress right now, and they're learning a bit about weather and how bees react to different types of weather. They obviously don't like being blown around a bit, so they might be a little bit testy today. And they're learning also about the queen excluder and also empty frames. And it's 9 weeks into their course right now, and they're well on their way to becoming beekeepers. Do you know that there's people out there that are afraid of beekeeping because they're afraid of being stung? Adults even.
Yes, I do. I mean, they're just these tiny little bugs who will do anything to protect, but if they want to, the stinging is last resort. But because it sacrifices themselves.
So they don't really want to sting you, do they?
They don't.
What would be your advice to, say, a teacher somewhere else in Britain or even worldwide? What kind of things did you do to get your club set up?
I highly recommend getting an experienced beekeeper to come and have a look at your setup before you get going. Location is quite important. We're quite lucky to have a space here where children don't go.
Next to a wall.
Yeah.
And your classroom.
I mean, this is a luxury. I don't think it's very normal to have them right next door. But yeah, definitely get someone who's experienced, work with you to set it up. And if you're not an experienced person yourself, ask them to, find a time that's suitable for them to help. And also get your school on board. I walked around with a few of our senior management and talked about where they were going to be, what it was going to be like. Because of what we've done to our planet, now humans are needed to help look after the bees.
Do you think more kids should take up beekeeping?
Yes, definitely. It's really fun, and the only advantage of having less children doing it is you get to do it more often.
So you don't think it's dangerous for kids to learn how to beekeep?
No, not at all.
And how long have you been beekeeping?
I started this year, but I've wanted to be a beekeeper ever since I've heard of the club.
For me, I think the challenge. I quite enjoyed the challenge of setting it up, doing something new. I doubt there's many primary schools in the UK or in the Isle of Man that have a beehive so close to the school. So there was that aspect of it, doing something new, doing something that I'm interested in. And for the children, it's amazing to see children experience something for the first time and be able to have a really positive experience. It's the unknown. You're scared of a bee because it's a flying thing with a stinger, and that's all children know about it. And then they actually watch one, and then they look and they see, wow, it's got hooks on its legs, and oh, it's got 4 wings. And
Yeah.
When you learn about something, it makes it much easier to understand it. So they leave here thinking, okay, I'm okay with bees. They have a function in the world, and they're going about that. They're not there to hurt me. From the club's point of view, as well as the children that I just teach about bees, actually showing them and teaching them about how beekeeping can be related to lots of other things. We were talking before about how it ended up being a politics lesson, about the will of the masses, and a lot of it is directed from the children's questions. They want to know a lot of things, and many things I can't answer. Why does this happen? How does that work? There are definitely things that I go away and have to
Do a
try
bit
and
of
come up.
research yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this has been a fascinating trip for me to see, and I hope that you've enjoyed this as well. If you've got any questions whatsoever, leave them as a comment down below. I'll try to get back to them. Hopefully Alan will be able to make it over to the video, and we'll be able to answer some questions too. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next week here on the Lovely Greens YouTube channel.
How long have you been a beekeeper?
For the last term.
For the last term, how long is a term here?
9 weeks.
This term's 10 weeks.
So what have you learned in that term, that 9 weeks?
A lot of stuff.
Like what? What is the thing that stands out the most about beekeeping to you? What's important about it?
Probably how the queen has a way longer abdomen than the other bees.
Have you spotted her before?
Yeah. We need to remark her as well.
You need to remark her.
Give them a couple of puffs, tell them that